All right, finally, dividing complex numbers. It's really easy. There's a first step that you have to get right, and I'm going to show it how to get it right every time. But mostly you're going to multiply. When you divide complex numbers, there's a lot of multiplication. Here's what you have to do. You have to actually multiply. The first thing you have to do is you have to multiply by another fraction. That fraction is going to be related to the denominator, 6 plus 5i. You're going to take the denominator and change the sign. If it's positive, you're going to make it negative. If it's negative, you're going to make it positive. So instead of 6 plus 5i, I want 6 minus 5i. And I'm going to put that in the numerator, 6 minus 5i, and in the denominator, 6 minus 5i. See, 6 minus 5i divided by 6 minus 5i equals 1. And if I multiply this by 1, it'll have the same value as this. And that's all I really want to do is I want to change the form of this so that it looks like a complex number. Now, to multiply we now have two fractions. To multiply a fraction times a fraction, you just do numerator times numerator and denominator times denominator. So the numerator here is going to be 7 times 6, so 7 times 6 plus 7 times negative 5i. 7 times negative 5i plus negative 8i times 6, negative 8i times 6 plus negative 8i times negative 5i. Negative 8i times negative 5i. That's the numerator. Yep, it's just a multiplication. It's just multiplying two complex numbers. Now we're going to do the same thing down here. Multiply two complex numbers. 6 times 6, 6 times 6 plus 6 times negative 5i. 6 times negative 5i plus 5i times 6. 5i times 6 plus 5i times negative 5i. 5i times negative 5i. Now we got to clean this up a bit, okay? So let's see here. So in the numerator, 7 times 6 is 42. 7 times negative 5i is minus 35i. Okay. Negative 8i times 6 is minus 48i. And then negative 8 times negative 5 is plus 40, and it's I squared. So plus 40 I squared. Now we know this I squared is going to become a negative, and it's going to turn this into minus 40. We'll do that in a minute. Over 6 times 6 is 36. 6 times negative 5i is negative 30i. 5 times 6 is positive 30i. This is important here. Negative 30i, positive 30i. These are always going to cancel out. And then 5i times negative 5i is negative 25i squared. Okay? And so now this is going to become 42. Now look, this right here is going to become minus 40. The I squared is negative. It's going to change the sign of this. It's going to be minus 40. So 42 minus 40 is 2. Then we have minus 35i minus 48i. That's minus 83i. That's the numerator. We're done. Here, this minus 30i plus 30i, that's going to cancel out because those negative 30 plus 30 is 0. So we're going to have 36. And then here we have minus 25i squared. The I squared is going to be negative 1. That's going to change this minus to a plus. So it's going to become plus 25. And so 36 plus 25, that's 61. So we have 61 on the bottom, and we have 2 minus 83i on the top. This is not in a plus bi form. So in order to make it in a plus bi form, we have to separate. We have to put the 61 under the 2 and then the 61 under the 83. So we wind up with 2 over 61 minus 83 over 61 I. This is now in a plus bi form, and that's our final answer.